Yeah, this is for all you non-philosophizing black sheep, unwelcome, pushed to the side motherfuckers like me.
Fuck what they say. Gang gang, atheist your way. Yeah. Fuck what they say. Gang gang, atheist your way. Let's get down to business. These bitches got glitches. And you thought you'd dismiss us? Nah. Now I'm laughing in stitches. See, the problem be, it'll be a tragic travesty to come after me. So just know this is how we get down. Respect that shit like a pronoun, bitch. Yeah. Fuck what they say. Tang gang, atheist your way. Yeah. And fuck what they say. Tang gang, atheist your way. Yeah. Fuck what they say. Tang gang, atheist your way. Yeah. Fuck what they say. Tang gang, atheist your way.
What's up, motherfuckers? What's good with you?
Huh.
What's good with you?
Huh. I haven't heard that song in a while. It's pretty good.
Every once in a while I play it. Every once in a while. Well, the video is what makes it.
Nah.
She made the video.
Nah, no, I didn't. I did.
I was about to say, what?
I put a lot of work into that one.
Yeah, I just made that shit up. Hey, she made the video. No, I did it. I certainly didn't do it.
Well, I meant to say something else before you said that, but yeah.
How are you, babe?
I'm good. I'm chilling. Pineapple juice. How are you?
I'm good. Got to see, 2 days in a row, got to see the grandbaby. Well, yesterday was my youngest granddaughter's birthday. So, which is, well, I said it the other night, for two reasons. And that's one, that I'm a grandpa 2 times. And then the fact that my youngest granddaughter, that year went pss, pss, pss. Like that shit's crazy. So I'm good. I'm good. And but it's all like good weekend. Last weekend, Jenna had a great weekend. Good week. She was on vacation this week. The week's kind of ending on a bittersweet. Not kind of, it is on a bitter. Well, this part, there's nothing sweet about it, but so I considered her my sister-in-law as well, but like legally speaking, my brother's sister-in-law. So my sister-in-law's sister, however the fuck we look at that. She about a month ago was diagnosed with what kind of cancer was it? Do you remember?
Wasn't it brain cancer?
No, leukemia. It was a form of leukemia.
I'm sorry, leukemia.
Yeah, it was a form of leukemia.
I don't know why I thought brain.
And she had her first round of chemo the end of last week. She was released, and then earlier today, she was having some chest pains, and her boyfriend called 911. They picked her up. Was taking her via the ambulance, to the hospital, and she had cardiac arrest on the way there, and they were not able to resuscitate her. So, and she was awesome, man. She's one of the that I was surrounded by. She was one of, if not maybe one or two of the Christians that I stayed in contact with after I left the faith. That it how she viewed me, treated me, spoke to me, all that never changed. Regardless of our agreements or our disagreements. So it's that was tough news. It was tough news.
It was a tough one.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she truly was, even to me, like off the bat. And you know, we have talked quite a bit, just in person, meeting her a few times, and her advice, because she's of the medical background too. So she was a nurse and did a lot of that rotation. She had actually just got her degree in becoming an NP, a nurse practitioner.
Yep.
So like just over the last year or so, I was doing that. And if it wasn't for her, and in addition to Oz's father, but she was a big component of it, gave me a beautiful reference letter to the job that I presently have now. So, and she didn't have to do that. And just that alone was, making that connection, at a professional level too, but also, just like a lot of people in Oz's family, I consider and love dearly as my own, because they've treated me like no other. And that hit me hard too. So.
Yep. So, sorry, I didn't make it bring her in the mood instantly. No, that was on me. But we're exchanging how we doing, what's going on. So great week. We can have other, just.
I had to go to work tomorrow.
That's kind of the like I said, it's been sweet, but kind of a bitter end to it. But if the Bible guy anything right, maybe just this part. We don't know. We may not be here tomorrow, but that's why, love the people you love. Give them a hug. We just don't fucking know, right? So any hoot. What's up, everybody in the chat? Oh, I saw Jerry's here. And we will let's have our first drink of our adult beverages tonight.
1, 2, it goes 1, 2, 3. Get fucked up. 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 Get fucked up.
All right, what are we here to talk about tonight? Well, as I said, it was one of the first streams or whatever conversations I had about this that I had already began to would continue to have conversations, and I'm going to not allow someone to make decisions for me. They can inform me, right? But I'm not just going to take a person's ideas or whatever and say, okay, slam dunk. That's it. Nor am I going to say 100% you're incorrect, but right. So I've continued doing that, and we'll get to the update here shortly. But through this, in having these conversations, I've also been kind of digging back up on some things that that I either watched / and or listened to as I was going through not just the deconversion, but the deconstruction part of my leaving faith and leaving Christianity and doing all that. And I think there's important things to highlight here before we go to the update. So we will start there. Roll tape.
You sat down to watch one, then another. Then somewhere around speech number 12, you noticed something. The words were different, but the feeling was identical. Different decade, different country, different God or ideology. Same sentences, almost word for word. That's when it stopped being interesting and started being unsettling. Because these weren't just charismatic people saying compelling things. They were running the same program, over and over, on different people. And the program worked every single time. So here are the 7 phrases, not paraphrased, not summarized. The actual structural moves, repeated across 50 speeches. Before anything else, they tell you the world already failed you.
All right. So before we get into it, this is analyzing 50 speeches, all 50 speeches coming from cult leaders, and the seven commonalities that they share.
Not things are difficult, specific, personal, aimed. You've been lied to your whole life. Everything they told you was designed to keep you small. The people you trusted never actually wanted you to wake up. Notice what that does in about 4 seconds. It doesn't just criticize an institution or a system. It retroactively reframes your entire history of trusting other people. Your parents, your teachers, your doctors, your government. All of them suddenly become suspects in a story you didn't know you were in. And now there's only one person left who's telling you the truth. The one who just said those words. That's phrase 1, not a sentence, an erasure. Phrase 2 comes almost
I smell something.
immediately after. I found you, or you were meant to be here.
Now, there's a couple of these are just good refreshers that won't necessarily apply to where I'm heading with this, but there's good reminders in here.
Or some version of out of everyone you understood. Watch for the passive framing. You didn't seek this out. You were selected. You were recognized. You were found.
I don't know if y'all remember. This is exactly how I was approached. You, Oz, you, for whatever reason.
This is what researchers call love bombing, but language first. Before the gifts, before the attention, before the community. The speech itself is the first wave of it. You feel, sometimes within minutes, that this person sees something in you, something the previous world missed. That feeling is not random, it is manufactured with precision. Phrase 3 is the one that does the most invisible work. It sounds almost harmless the first time you hear it. We're not like them. Sometimes it's more specific. People on the outside can't understand this. Or you'll find that people in your old life start to pull away. That last version is the most sophisticated because it doesn't tell you to cut people off. It predicts that they'll leave you. So when your sister starts asking uncomfortable questions about the group, or your friend says they're worried, or your partner gets quieter around you, the speech has already given you the explanation. They can't handle your growth. They're threatened by your transformation. The outside world didn't change. It was preloaded as the enemy. Phrase 4 is where the language shifts register entirely. Up until now, the speech has been warm, conspiratorial, intimate. Phrase 4 introduces a clock. We are running out of time.
Pretty sure we started out every time. How many days till NaNoCon?
Or what's coming cannot be stopped, only prepared for. Or simply, the window is closing. It doesn't matter if the threat is spiritual, political, or cosmic. The mechanism is identical across every speech analyzed. Urgency is inserted the moment belonging starts to feel comfortable. Because comfort allows thinking. Urgency replaces it. When someone is afraid, the question shifts from, is this true, to what do I do right now? That question is much easier for a cult leader to answer. And notice the structure. The threat is always vague enough to be unfalsifiable. You can't check whether the window is closing. You can't fact check a spiritual timeline. The claim lives permanently outside the reach of scrutiny, which is exactly where it needs to live.
Now, the difference here would be, that there's not this promise of hell or condemnation or what, but it's still that, there's not okay, however many days, let's say it's 75 days, whatever. 75, and then what?
Mm-hmm.
Like what? And we're going to get to that in a minute. We're going to get to that because that part of it's. Why do you have a countdown?
Phrase 5 is the one most people recognize least, even while it's happening. It doesn't sound like control. It sounds like love. I only say this because I care about you more than you care about yourself. Or, you're not ready to hear this yet, but I'll tell you anyway. Or the quieter version, I've seen where this path leads for people like you. What this phrase does.
Man, this makes me want to pull up where he tried to call me out. Pull it up, shook. Like there's so many elements that apply, and he even said it. Like, go ahead, do it your way, bro. Do it your way, and then we'll check at the end. We'll see who's doing this shit right. You know, it's like I didn't know we were having a competition. God damn it, I've been more prepared.
Is install a hierarchy of knowing. The leader doesn't just know more facts. They know your interior better than you do. Your doubts become proof of your confusion, not their errors. Your resistance becomes evidence of how deep the wound goes. Your questions become symptoms of the very problem they're here to fix. Once that frame is accepted, the person has handed over something enormous. Not just trust, the authority to define their own inner experience. That transfer is quiet. It doesn't feel like surrender. It feels, genuinely, like being understood. Phrase 6 arrives after some friction, some testing, some mild doubt. A member starts asking questions, or pulls back slightly, or mentions something they read that contradicts what they were told. And the response, in speech after speech, follows the same shape. That's exactly what they want you to think. Or the fact that you're doubting right now is the fear talking. Or the compressed version.
You won't do it. You won't create the content because you're scared. You're not built like me. You're not built like Kobe. You're not built like Michael. You're not built to win and be a champion like I am.
Don't let your old programming win. Linguists call these thought-terminating cliches. A phrase designed not to answer the question, but to end the asking. The doubt doesn't get addressed. It gets reclassified as weakness, as outside failed. Robert Lifton documented this pattern in the 1960s, studying thought reform. Decades later, across completely unrelated groups, the same phrases reappear because they work, not on stupid people, on people who are trying to believe, on people who want the thing to be real badly enough to accept the shortcut. The shortcut being stop asking, start trusting. Phrase 7 is the last one, and it's the most personal.
And see, again, specifically in this context, this arena, I'm always only going to speak for me. I think this is where Bundy, whatever, and anybody that would have themselves in that position where they think like they can talk like this to somebody and they don't, like they're not picking up on what's getting thrown down. Because I already talked about it, right? I went through the deconstruction process. I can now, I can pick up on it, and I might just get little crumbs at the beginning, but the more I listen and the more I watch you, and the way you, man, you ain't fooling me with this shit. Fool me once, shame on me. It ain't gonna happen again.
It usually comes late, after months sometimes, after the group feels like home. It sounds different depending on the leader, the ideology, the setting, but the structure is always this. You without us is not really you. Or the person you were before you found this was just a shell. Or the version that gets said the most softly, the most carefully. We are the only ones who truly know who you are. This is identity replacement, spoken out loud, framed as a gift. Because by this point, the person has invested months of their life. They've distanced from people who expressed concern. They've used the language, adopted the framework, built a self inside the group. And now that self is being held by the leader as collateral. Leaving doesn't just mean losing the community or the belief system. It means losing the version of yourself you built there. That's not a small thing to walk away from. That is, for a lot of people, the thing that makes leaving feel like dying. Now step back and look at all 7 together. The world failed you. I found you. We're not like them. The clock is running. I know you better than you do. Your doubt is just fear. You without us is nothing. Each phrase alone sounds like something you might hear anywhere. A self-help seminar, a motivational speech, a tight-knit friend group. That's the point. None of these are unique to fringe groups. What makes them dangerous is the sequence, the repetition, the closed loop. Each phrase reinforces the one before it. Each one narrows the exit slightly more. And by the time the 7th phrase lands, the architecture is complete. The person is not being held by chains. They're being held by meaning. A meaning that was carefully constructed around their specific wound.
Okay, so here's another. this is kind of why I wanted to get to this point, because again, they're going to look differently because we're not talking about an idea that is dealing with the supernatural, right? And there's threats of heaven and hell and all this. So it's going to obviously look and or sound differently, but the methodology remains, right? and even with this approach, it's and unfortunately, I have watched, seen, and experienced with those in that circle where the idea of even considering that they may be wrong or they may lack some information that may change their mind, and they're afraid to approach that, that would align with this right here as well, you know, where it's like, man, I've already been through this before. I don't want to get hurt again. So why seek something out that would cause more, you know, pain or another wound? And the miss there is it may sting for a moment, and yes, it's humbling for any, me included, for any and all of us to have to admit that we may or were or are incorrect. The long-term benefits of that are much better, much healthier, so on and so forth. So it's and that, I think that's for the person involved, not the leader, but that can be one of the most difficult parts of, no, not the most. I would, if I was, again, I say it all the time, but if I was a gambling man, I would say 9 out of 10 times that's the biggest hindrance, and the biggest fear point is that I was wrong. It's human nature,
Yeah.
right? We all have
Yeah.
that. So, but then when you have someone in your ear that
Constantly.
is constantly, consistently, and persistently reminding you of that, and that if you're not doing it this way, and you're not doing it enough, and you're not saying it loud enough, and all that type shit, yeah, it that can be intimidating if you haven't already had to tackle that before, right?
Because that's what the opening speeches were scanning for. Not general vulnerability, specific pain, specific longing, specific gaps. Jim Jones studied the speeches of Gandhi, King, and Hitler simultaneously, not to pick one model, to extract what all of them understood about need. People don't join cults because they're weak or broken or unusually naive. They join because the language arrived at the exact moment the wound was open, and the language knew exactly what to say.
I've kind of been waiting on this part because I think this part is critical as well, which I've talked about several times, and it's so the two that stand out in the context of current events.
Yeah.
Is the one, oh, for whatever reason you sought me out, then it is weaponized or used as a mark against me that I didn't open it up and read it when I first got it. And anybody that I've talked to here or privately that would have the conversation with me, they said, no, Oz, that is 100% the most respectful thing you could have done, and the best thing you could have done in that situation. But what does he say? He says that I was, I was weak, or I was a coward, or whatever it was he said. I'm paraphrasing, but of course they were insults, right? And you're this because you were sitting on that information and you refused to read it. Well, I did refuse to read it. I 100% did, but not for the reasons you're trying to flip it into, right? I did it because I didn't know if I had permission, consent, whatever, to even have possession, right? And so there's that, and then here, let me play this again, that way I can, because there's one phrase there that he says,
The wound was open, and the language knew exactly what to say. That's the mechanism. Not charisma, not magic, not unusually naive. They joined because the language arrived at the exact moment the wound was open. And the language knew exactly what to say. That's the mechanism. Not charisma, not magic, not pure manipulation. A set of 7 moves, run in sequence, aimed at something real in a run in sequence. Not charisma, not at the
Jesus.
exact moment the wound was open. And the language knew exactly what to say.
Yeah, that's what. All right. So the wound was open. Okay. So I wanted to stop there because when I did, this was the other one that was used against me. And he got the bow and arrow out. Or sorry, he got the. Blam, blam! I forgot he doesn't do bow and arrows. he gets that out and also weaponizes that. That upon my first time hearing / reading it, was there a former wound opened in that moment? Absolutely. And I've said that I don't know how many times at this point with this shit. The first time going through it, yes, literally memories that will unfortunately be stored in my memory banks until the day I die of what happened to my mom and I when I was growing up. Trigger. So yeah, that whether you want to call them scabs, scars, whatever, right? All that shit. And my immediate response to that is fuck you and anybody involved. Fuck them both. Fuck them all. Right? And for the record, even in that moment and those that followed, not one time did I ever say, I'm team anything or anyone, period. Hard stop.
Right.
But then what happened is that circular effect that you saw earlier on screen, where as soon as he heard that and they heard that, they took it as I'm saying, I am team you. I never said that. You inferred that. Them shits never came out of my mouth. No, not one time. And as ironic as it is, because this is how this cult shit works, then he love bombs. They love bomb. Oh, we knew it. We knew it. We knew you had it in you, buddy. We knew you had it in you, pal. And then again, that circular effect. The moment, it didn't take too long. The moment I'm pushing back and I'm asking questions, what happens? Ostracized, kicked out. You can't be here. All that type shit, right? It's so like the, you know, I especially Fundy, he don't want to hear this, and the people,
Of course not.
and now I will say it, those following him, because at this point that's what's happening. Those following him, there's two things. It's either A, you are aware and you're terrified to challenge him, or intimidated to challenge him, or whatever word, or you don't know. And I'm going to encourage you to go read and study and listen to this type shit, and hopefully let this start to break down that bullshit. And yeah, Jay, if there's anybody either trying to start one or already has, even if it's just an online YouTube cult, bruh, if you ain't in front, you towards the front of the line.
That's the mechanism. Not charisma, not magic, not pure manipulation. A set of 7 moves, run in sequence, aimed at something real in a person. The uncomfortable part isn't that it works on certain types of people. The uncomfortable part is the specific conditions under which it works on most people. Loneliness past a certain threshold, a recent loss of meaning or identity, a community that failed them right before this one appeared. These aren't rare conditions. They describe a fairly ordinary human year, which is why awareness of the language matters more than confidence in yourself. You don't recognize this by being smarter or more skeptical or more guarded. You recognize it by knowing what the phrases sound like before they land, by noticing when a narrative removes everyone who might offer a second opinion, by feeling when urgency is being used to.
All right, so I'm gonna stop this particular video at that point because, like I said, and as I promised, I've been having conversations, whether you've seen them live here or they've been private. They've been happening. They've been, and there's more to come. I still have more on my calendar. You are in a unsafe space when you're not allowed to simply push back and ask questions.
Absolutely.
And for those that may be on said team and you're listening, I know I'm probably pissing you the fuck off right now, but that's okay. You are not in a safe space if you are not allowed to push back and or ask questions. I don't care who's speaking, who's not, who's saying what. If that is the model, you are not safe. Period. And I'll drink to that.
Two, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. Get fucked up, 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 get fucked up.
I think the worst thing in this world is to feel like you can't ask questions or feel like you become more stagnant when you feel like you're silenced, or even worse, being told what you should feel like, think, speak, treat others type shit. I've been there.
It was
Sorry, that
In
was supposed to play.
too many ways been there. And I know you have been too, babe, but mine feel more recent than anything.
All right, and then I got one more here, and then we'll share some interesting updates and well, the ones that I know, like for a fact that we're like these conversations have already been had, and it's a done deal. I'll talk about those. There are other ones that I'll be shared in the near future. But God damn it, where'd it go? I just had it pulled up, motherfucker. Son of a bitch.
it was
Stop that. There it is. All right. While I'm waiting for this to load up. Yeah. Whoops. Questions are the best part of the conversation. Agreed. And for those that know, you've been around the channel long enough to know, SE street epistemology is some of my favorite shit in the world. And well, hey, it's because you're asking the questions, and I think one of the best skills that we can have, like across the board, anybody and everybody, one of the best skills we can have is being a good listener, an efficient listener, and seeking to understand. And if you're actually doing that and paying attention, I think we learn a lot more that way than just telling people what the fuck we think all the time. Right. And that doesn't mean we shouldn't share, our ideas or even approach and examine and criticize and all that. We definitely should do that. But God damn it. Learn how to listen well first.
That part.
Learn how to listen well first. And if you ain't listening at all, you you are a problem, or at the least you're a part of a problem. I'll say that. Shut up when you talk to me. That's my starter. Hey, there's a few people in my life that'd probably be my starter, because I'm not interested in the conversation. But in this regard, that is not the case. All right, so it's not long, but it's a TED Talk, and how to tell if you've been brainwashed.
Oh boy.
It's been a hot minute since I watched this.
I haven't watched TED Talks in a minute.
It's
I used to like watching those.
If this is the one I'm thinking it is, what I'm pretty sure it is. It's worth.
Oh, this is something you watched?
If this is the same one I think it is, it's been a hot minute ago. But
okay.
How could you tell if your mind has been brainwashed, or your mind has been hacked, or you've been subjected to mind control or hypnosis or undue influence?
And if somebody wants to Google this and fact check me on this, I may be wrong, but going by face and name again, I think this is also the gentleman that wrote the book about the cult of Trump. I think he either started writing it in 2018 or 19, or it published then. I don't remember. But this is kind of his wheelhouse, or area of expertise.
The people who want to persuade want you to stay ignorant. The authoritarian cults, that including Putin, who grew up in the Soviet Union, which was a political cult, and I'm happy to talk about that. The psychology of influence has morphed in the decades, and I'm here to share with you. It was 1974, February. My girlfriend dumped me. I was an upper junior at Queens College, the youngest of 3 kids, of Milton and Estelle Hassan of Flushing, Queens, New York. Yes, I grew up 1.3 miles from Cult 45, DT. These women approached me in the student union and deceptively recruited me into a front group of this, turned out to be a cult. And within 2 weeks, I was believing that World War III was about to happen, that Armageddon was coming, that Moon was the greatest man in human history. He was sinless. And for those of you who are too young to know about the Moonies, he's best known for the mass wedding ceremonies. He did 30,000 couples at one time of total strangers, but who believed in him as the Messiah. And within 2 weeks, I left my Judaism, and I'm bowing to an altar with Moon's picture on it, reciting a pledge to fight with my life or kill for Korea. I'm not joking. And I was elevated to leadership very quickly. I guess they saw me as a nice American, tall, whatever. And so I was privy to these secret leadership meetings with Moon about how he talked about democracy was satanic. He talked about taking over America and amending the Constitution.
And again, just as a reminder, as we're listening to this, I am not suggesting, implying, whatever, that we're dealing with someone that's saying anything supernatural or otherworldly. My focus here are the mechanisms, right, and the tools, so to speak, that are used. So just keep that in mind.
And make it a capital offense for people who don't do what he says regarding the marriages. And I was a fanatic. My family freaked. My friends freaked. Steve, it's a cult. You're being brainwashed. I knew I wasn't brainwashed because I'm smart. I'm educated. I'm from a good family. I didn't feel brainwashed. I was having a religious experience. And guess what? When Moon said, we're all going to the Capitol steps to fast for 3 days for Nixon because God wants him to be president despite Watergate. And I called my father, who had voted for Nixon. I voted for McGovern. I said, "Hey, Dad, I'm fasting for Richard Nixon to be president," thinking he would love it. He said, "Steve, you are right. He's a crook." I said, "Dad, you don't understand. God is working." He said, "Steve, now I know you're brainwashed." And my father got his chance. Within 2 years, I fell asleep at the wheel of a van due to sleep exhaustion. I should say I was sleeping 3 to 4 hours a night, 7 days a week for no pay, working for father. And I fell asleep at the wheel of a van, drove into the back of a tractor trailer truck at 80 miles an hour and nearly died, and was trapped for 30 minutes while the rescue workers saved my life. And there I was in a hospital for 2 weeks away from the cult. And by the way, this was 1976, so there were no cell phones, right? So I was away from the constant indoctrination. And I called my sister. I actually broke a rule. I called my sister Thea.
So first stop on this one, I would anybody that's team blam whatever. That would be my challenge to you, because it's a constant bombardment. Take 2-3 weeks. Don't listen. Do not partake. Do not taste the whatever you want to call it. But it's toxic and it's poisonous. I'll say that. But take 2 or 3 weeks. Step back. Then reapproach it. Just that little bit of clarity. Sometimes you don't know how much it'll do.
And she said, "You have a nephew. I want him to know his Uncle Stevie. You got to visit." I'm like, "Don't tell the parents. I think I can arrange it because I'm a leader." And she did tell my parents, and they arranged a deprogramming. And it's a long story, but my father cried. And he said, "How would you feel if it was your son who met a controversial group, dropped out of college, quit his job, donated his bank account, and disappeared from your life? How would you feel?" And he cried. And it got me right here. And I said, "I'd probably do what you're doing now." But I thought he was brainwashed by the communist media. That's how I was indoctrinated. So I said, "I'd probably be doing what do you want me to do?" He said, "Just listen to these ex-members, learn about brainwashing and mind control. And if you want to go back at the end of 5 days, I'll drive you there myself."
Okay. And again, we're building up. Just let us cook for a minute. We're going to get to it. But so even this part of the story. So I talked about a little bit the last stream we did, and Jay, he probably knows now because I talked about it. But I reached out privately to those that I know are close. Let's say that, and out of what he was just saying, out of concern, like true concern for the person. I don't, I don't know up to this point if they have communicated that we had, that conversation. But whether they have or not, and now knowing that Jay's probably heard that at this point, it still, I don't think would matter to him, because he's going to have, and he'd already said it on his stream, that I've already been, and again, I'm paraphrasing, but it's there if anybody wants to find it. But whatever stream that he said that I've been overtaken in whatever by the flying monkeys. So even my compassion and my empathy to him is is just absolutely dog shit, because I guess I'm now a shitting flying monkey. I don't know. So that's
Probably.
then that's again just another negative part of this onion because there's many, many layers to it, where it's like, even when you try to be empathetic, sympathetic, you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Right.
I said, done. Because I was so fanatical. I was so confident that I had the truth. And little did I know, on day 4, when I learned about Chinese communist brainwashing from former military intelligence people who had studied it in the 50s, it ticked off every box. But wait a minute, we were God and communism was Satan, but it was the same brainwashing techniques. But that still wasn't enough to get me out. The following day, the deprogrammers asked me to read one of Moon's speeches and said, "What do you think, Steve?" And I read it, and for the first time in 2.5 years, I had a negative thought. I thought, what a liar. Moon was talking to congressmen and senators saying how much he loved America and respected Americans, and he was surprised that he was being accused of brainwashing Americans. And I had heard him speak in person at least 100 times, how stupid Americans were, right? But once I had that thought, he's a liar. That means he's not trustworthy. That means he can't be of God. And it was like a house of cards going plop, 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 plop in my mind. And I cried for 3 hours. And here I am, 45 years later, trying to share my experience with the planet, because everyone needs to understand this is not a mystical thing. You've heard of MK Ultra, the CIA research into mind control. The Russians were doing it. There was a Cold War run-up. I was MK Ultra 3.0. I would have died on command, killed on command. And thank God my family rescued me. So I'm here to tell you there's a dual identity that happens. There was Steve Hassan of Flushing, Queens, and then Steve Hassan, the son of Moon and his wife, the true parents of the universe. The real Steve reacted to my father's tears. And now I want
What?
Oh, I thought you were
to
going
tell
to say
a
something.
fast
Oh, no,
story.
no,
I
no,
know I'm running out
sorry.
of time.
I-
Fast story.
Sorry. No, I recalled something he mentioned because now I'm like actively thinking of his words. He just mentioned like the Moon family. So I was like piecing connections. That's all. Sorry. Just a bleep in my brain.
You're good.
My father called me up when I was in the cult, thinking that he could get me out by just giving me facts. Sounds familiar? He said, "Steve, what kind of messiah has an M16 gun factory?" Little did he know I was trained to do thought stopping, which is a cognitive behavioral technique. I was crush Satan, glory to heaven, peace on earth, glory to heaven, peace on earth, crush Satan, crush Satan. So
And again, I want to make this clear, because I don't want people to get lost in the spiritual part of this, right? It's the mechanism, right? So he's talking about, God, an AK-47 and like, even this, it's crazy, right? And ironic all at the same time. Because what do we have now? Fundy says that it's satirical, that it's kayfabe, whatever. Again, like I said the other night, there's a lot of truth said in jest, and especially in this context, right? So instead of wielding an actual AK-47, you're communicating the same message, disguising it as humor, because you don't have a spiritual cloth to hide it behind, right? So instead of being able to hide it behind a God or a Holy Spirit or a whatever, you take satire and comedy and humor to try and disguise what you're actually saying, right? So you don't have a God buffer. So you just apply satire and comedy.
father's intention was to get me to think, but he drove me deeper in. And I have a little party prop that I want to share. It's actually called Chinese handcuffs. Have you ever seen this? The harder you pull, the
Finger
tighter it
fingers.
gets.
Yep.
But if you explain to the person, you can get out of it by just putting your fingers together, using your thumbs to push, and voila.
Voila.
So what I'm here to share in my remaining time is a reality testing strategy. It's remarkably simple, and it's based on my doctoral dissertation on the BITE model of authoritarian control and my influence continuum.
So hold on, let's hear him say that again, because another thing that Fundy likes to say and lean upon is, well, come holler at me when you got your doctorate. Well, I don't. First of all, that's a terrible argument, and I'm sure there's all type of fallacious bullshit in there. But anyway, what did this guy just say he did?
On the BITE model of authoritarian control and push, and voila. So what I'm here to share in my remaining time is a reality testing strategy. It's remarkably simple, and it's based on my doctoral dissertation on the
His doctoral
Dissertation.
dissertation. Holy shit! I'm a high school dropout. I know what the fuck that is. Damn.
BITE model of authoritarian control and my influence continuum. Step 1, disconnect. We are addicted to our cell phones, and people who are in mind control cults are constantly being reinforced. So
I'm sorry. What was that challenge or suggestion I just gave out? Oh yeah, disconnect.
we need to take, I'm challenging anyone who's listening to this. If you're sure you weren't brainwashed like I was, take a time out. Turn off your phone, turn off your screens for a week. Okay, step 1.
Well, and to his point, like, you don't have to like completely shut down your phone, but don't listen to said information. Take a week, take 2 weeks. Give your fucking brain a break.
I know. I was intentionally responding literally.
I know.
Like,
it looks, like I said, it's been a hot minute since I've watched or seen this, but it's like, because I even talked about this earlier, like in while you're taking that break, instead of ingesting all that, go and study these different models and see what behaviors, that you're seeing that are, consistent, on spot, maybe that, do that study for yourself.
Learn about Chinese communist brainwashing and the major models. And I'm here to tell you that I did for my doctoral program the first quantitative study on the BITE model of authoritarian control. And the B is behavior control, the I is information control, the T is thought control, and the E is emotional control. And
and perfect example, Fundy Bundy has it has went so far. I've since my original hit piece, other than what I've played on here from his prior stuff, since I started, I've not listened to a second, but I've been, because all I need to do is see the titles. I don't need to listen, right? At this point, all I got to do is look at the titles. We've gotten so far on that side where today it was, now he's defending white men because I didn't listen to it. I'm just taking this from the title because we weaponize autism. Bruh. Hey, white people, but white men in specific, whatever. I don't like, I don't give a shit that he goes after white man is what, like, we know I'm clear. Like, I know there's white privilege. I know, like, but I don't argue any of that. That said, you attack this way. Well, actually, I'm going to defend you, but also shit on you still at the same time.
Model basically says you have to think about an ethical influence side of informed consent, for example, where you know up front who the people are, what they believe, and what is expected, versus deception, outright lying, withholding vital information, or distorting it. And I have a much more robust influence continuum, but for simplicity's sake, I want to tell you that cognitive dissonance theory, which is from Leon Festinger, formed the basis of this. I added information control, but I have detailed behaviors that can show authoritarian control in a relationship, in a multi-level marketing group, a political situation, a religious group of any type. And the next step is seek out deliberately the best critics and former and most high-level former members you can find. Why? Because if you're in a mind control cult, you're programmed. Don't listen to the media. Media is the enemy of the people. Don't talk to apostates. They don't know anything. Take the position, hey, I'm an adult. It's my mind, and I get to decide. I can look at the evidence and think for myself.
Boom.
And it's the version of this, encouraging people to think for themselves as opposed to yelling at them, calling names.
Boom. And Fundy Bundy, if you was actually a skeptic and you actually cared about people, and you're not what I think you are right now, that's what you'd be doing, sir. You'd say, you know what? Here's the information I have. Don't take my word for it. Go do your research. Go do your homework. Form your own opinion. Form your own ideas. That's how you would actually approach this shit. Not yelling, screaming, and barking at people and blam blamming them.
And listen to the facts. Next is honest self-reflection. Think back to your first exposure to the group. And for those of you born into authoritarian families or religious groups, there's a special variation of this for you. Or if you were born in North Korea or China, it's a little bit different. But honest self-reflection, for me, I had to think back. I was writing poetry. I wanted to teach English, right? And I wasn't interested in money. I wasn't interested in power. And Moon was, the higher I got up in the cult, I was like being told things like, hey, Steve, you should think what country you want to run when we take over the world. I was 21 years old. But that was my Mooney self, not the real Steve. Honestly self-reflect, using the BITE model, thinking over key experiences, and then ask yourself, if I knew then what I know now, would I have ever gotten involved? The women lied to me. They said they were students. If I knew they were Moonies, I would have told them to get lost. I would have called security. Wake up, honest self-reflection. Look at yourself in the mirror. It's your life. It's your mind. You should control it, right? I'm part of a group of colleagues and friends. We're trying to do a Me Too moment. This is the call to action. If you are ever in an abusive relationship, a cult of any type, a company that was abusing you, and I haven't mentioned trafficking. Trafficking is illegal worldwide. Fraud, force, or coercion. And fraud and coercion forms my whole model. So I did my dissertation connecting the dots with all of these theories. And I say there are millions of us, but we need to get educated, help yourself first, really learn about cults and mind control, and then tell your story. Reach out to your family and friends. If you've cut off people that you care about in your family or friends, there are methods, and it's basically respectful curiosity and asking a good question and being quiet while you wait for the person to think for an answer.
Drink to that.
Two, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. Get fucked up. 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 Get fucked up.
Man, if one particular motherfucker would actually subscribe to that, we wouldn't even like 90% of the shit we wouldn't have to address, right?
Yes, but one could say certain circumstances create interesting opportunities, whether they benefit both parties or not. But
Oh, for sure, for
I
sure.
haven't really said this publicly, but fuck Jay. And I'm disappointed and kind of hurt to say that for my own reasons, just, having known of him and knowing how, anyway, you get me.
Let me say that then we'll get to our breaking news. So if you guys remember, my first thing when I started the hit pieces, this was my first thumbnail. If you guys remember, and again, this is just me doing the best I could do. Again, I'm all human out here. But I can assure you when I say, hey, I'm checking this shit out, I'm researching it, I'm whatever. Whether you believe me or not, if I tell you I'm doing it, goddamn it, I'm doing it. Just like when people hit me up, hey Oz, did you see my email? Did you see my text? Did you see that? I don't bullshit you. Probably not. Right. Yeah. So I'm doing, so that said, a lot of this, I've already been kind of putting the pieces together and it really all started with my interactions there and then doing exactly what that motherfucker was talking about. Take a step back, bro. I did that. I took that step back, then re-engaged. And I was like, okay, this is what I thought it was. This is and has been an echo chamber. This is and has been a very unsafe place. And what is even more scary to me is that there's motherfuckers in that space that say this space talking about the atheist community at large is unsafe. If y'all only knew how accurate you are. But you're doing what Trump teaches people to do. Tell the other people they're wrong for doing what it is that you're actually doing. And meanwhile, attack them, body shame them, insult them. But when it comes time to actually have a grown-up conversation face to face, so
Crickets.
along the lines of what I was talking about, we have been.
I and we have I.
I'm trying to think how to say this. So I've had conversations one-on-one. Jenna was part of a conversation with me today. Okay. And here's what you want to do if you actually want to have a broader understanding and gather as much information as you can to come to the best understanding you can have. That's what you do, right?
Yeah.
And that may mean that we still completely disagree. That means we may meet in the middle, or it may mean that, hey, man, I was fucking wrong. That is the most intellectually honest thing to do. That's the healthiest thing to do. So that's what I and now we Jen and I have been doing. And first and foremost, I want to say that I'm proud of that. And now Jenna being involved as well. I'm not going to speak for her, but for me, I am proud of that. And if you want to talk about standing on business, that's how you stand on business, motherfucker. If you was actually about that life, and I'm not talking about your stupid blam, blam. I'm talking about actually getting down to business, you would not just be willing to do it, you would have already done it.
Right.
So just as I promised, I'll reach out to them, and I have zero issues having conversations with anybody on whatever side of it, you know, and I'm not saying everybody's picking teams, but for those that are, I've opened up, I've done that, and now I have been and continuing to have conversations with both sides, as many as that want to have a conversation. So the other night we had Elliot on, Elliot Cantor, not secular rarity Elliot, but Elliot Cantor, and I thought that was a great conversation, and I asked him, you know, again, to the best of my abilities, the questions that I wanted to ask, and also because no one else wanted to join from
that part
other team. I even, again, to be as consistent and be, all of that as part, like even tried to play devil's advocate, if that's what you want to call it, and ask the other questions, right? And coming from a business background and have to go through legal issues, legal matters, or even potential legal stuff, I get that there's some times where your answer has to be, I can't talk about it. And that is absolutely the right thing to do to protect everyone, not just self, but protect everyone involved if there is potential for any type of legal anything, right? There's another person that I have started conversations with. They are not finished, so I'm not going to drop names yet. But so far, even in those conversations, not only have I been encouraged, but I've been surprised, just to keep it a buck. So I'll fill more of that in later. And then we met with Patrick, one of the coordinators of director, planner, all that, which would be what, the third person now, I think, whatever.
Sure.
That's, you know, involved. I have to go back. I'm losing track now by ADHD, but my whole point is that they're ongoing, right? And again, asking the questions, right? And not just, oh, tell me what you think I want to hear. Here's what I'm going to and man, I know when you're in that echo chamber, these things don't make a lot of sense until you realize you're in that echo chamber. The way I can assure you, and you don't have to believe me. You do not have to believe me. But y'all, anybody and everybody, you know that I've approached this as, again, consistently and as objectively as I know how to do, and that it humanly possible for me. And why did I bring up cults on this? For two reasons. One, because like I said, there is just a lot of reminders, and Jay has thrown that out about the leaders, whether it's the atheist community, but specifically with NaNoCon. And And now the more conversations I'm having, the more ironic and like crazy that this is, because and I talked about it on the last stream, the we versus us versus we thing. There's only one person, one team, whatever side. There's only one that's saying that. And they have nothing to do with NaNoCon. They have nothing to do with ACA. They have nothing to do with the atheist community at large. And again, someone that my deconstruction process, I'm very wary. If you can't tell, I'm very wary, and man, I turn into a hound dog, to try to sniff that shit out because I hate it. Right. Yeah, I'll say this, and I'll give the update. Jay, I would challenge you to take 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off. And not because I don't think you care about anybody, not because I don't think you give a shit about a victim, any victims, none of that, but just for you, bro, for you. Now I realize that's probably not going to happen. I just want to be clear and consistent in this. But especially for those of you that have bought into this narrative that Jay's got it, and he has all the information, and he knows everything, and he knows everything about these people, and I even heard him say it on his stream with SJ that he has no interest in talking to Elliot. Yeah. Oh, I agree, John, and that's why I'm approaching this again the best I know how. Right. But Jay, it came out of his mouth. He's not willing to even have a conversation with Elliot. So when you say that, that tells anybody involved, or should at least suggest, then how in the world do you have all the information needed to talk so absolutely like you do? Like, that's crazy work. That is crazy work. All right. All that said,
1, 2, it goes 1, 2,
we have breaking news.
Longest stretch of breaking news. This is not so much breaking news. Breaking news, they just
We're breaking it right now.
Okay.
We're breaking it right now.
Got it.
Nope.
Dr. Kill, breaking news.
Nope. Yep. See, what's up, Dr. Kip? He knew right when it came on. Guys, we are Jen and I are rolling out on the ops. We are rolling out on the ops. What the fuck does Jenna, what the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know.
You want to tell him? You want me to tell him?
You tell him. Do all this buildup.
Because, Jen and I, we bought that life. Jen and I will be in attendance at NaNoCon 2026, motherfuckers. And we're going to roll out on the ops. And we're going there to report back how absolutely treacherous,
This damaging and cruel
terrible.
and horrendous, terrible. No, we will be participating in great measure.
We're going to be there live to do deep dive researches.
Full report of safety and awareness, and for them to know we mean business. We from the streets.
And I already brought my, I already got,
His weapon is.
I already ordered off Amazon.
Yep.
Blam, blam.
Yep.
See, Theo beat me. Theo beat me there. That's the only reason we're going.
Got my strap-ons. My strap-ins and my strap-ons.
Jesus Christ. That's in the talks. Yeah, we're gonna do all the we're gonna do all the nasty. We're gonna do all the nasty. If you're doing it, you're nasty.
If you're doing it, you're nasty.
No, because here's the thing, because I and I'm not gonna say it because I should, but if I say it, then people won't. The people that I think are gonna say it won't say it if I predict it. If I put my prophet hat on right now. I can already hear the nonsense. I can already hear the nonsense. First things first. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You can have your opinion. You can have whatever, and that's why I started this shit off with. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of Jenna and I, and whether it's individually or us collectively as partners. At the end of the day, at the end of the night, when we put our heads on our pillows, we know we do the best that we can do to, make sure we're healthy and the people around us are healthy. And if we had a suspicion after the conversations we've had that we were going to be putting either of us in danger, well, I'll tell you, if anything, I would still roll out, but I would go solo, right? If I actually thought that Jenna would be in danger, I'd be like, nah, babe, I'll go dolo on this one. and then we go from there. So again, and this has been part of the conversations we've had, and Jay's even said it. Why are y'all not rolling out to NaNoCon? Why are y'all not going to NaNoCon?
Well,
why ain't y'all booked to be at NaNoCon to protest and shit?
Well, we've heard the call to the resistance. We are answering the call to the war march.
You gave the call to action.
There you go. That's the word. Yep. That one. That part.
You gave the call to action. We have taken action.
We are bringing the blam blams and the sex cult equipment, and we are gonna fuck shit up by engaging and opening minds and being a part of something meaningful. Type shit.
And let all the Bundy cult attack begin.
Yay!
And no, here's the thing. I already told Jenna. It now, like I'm actually excited to hear. I ain't listened to shit like I said that he said in several weeks now. Now, oh man. That shit is going to be a riot. That shit's going to be a riot because so far, I'm kind of doing what you've told everybody to do, Jay. Different motives.
Yep. Slightly. Completely different.
And to be specific, because I know he'll try to clip that. When I say different motives, Jay, my motive is to ask questions and seek to understand, and not just write people the fuck off. So just so we have clarity. So if you clip that and leave that last part out, then we 100% know that you are dishonest.
There you go.
And just remember, y'all heard the rest of that. Yeah, no, it's or first of all, again, shout out to Patrick and the others that we've had conversations with, and then there's another person that I'm have ongoing conversations with that before it gets any further, we are we're working through some shit, let's say that. and then once that shit which I'm actually more encouraged and more confident now that it can happen than I probably ever have been or would be. And that was even before we knew that this announcement was coming. But no, it's and I get to DJ for a bunch of fucking heathens. That's amazing.
That part.
That's amazing. I mean, other when I'm here on YouTube, y'all don't know, man. I mean, I make good money, good decent money doing it, but typically I'm doing these goddamn weddings.
It's a different change of pace.
And don't get me wrong, some of them turn up.
Oh,
They'll be like,
yeah.
hey, Oz, once it hits like 8:30, 9 o'clock, just hey, take off the professional side and like let all that shit out. So they'll turn up with me. But not having to worry about playing like all the, still like the religious influence shit that I just sit there and not physically, but internally I'm rolling my eyes and I'm like, why are we doing this right now? So that'll be badass. And then also we get to roll out on the ops. And Jenna's going to be part of a
Panel.
Thank you. So she's more guilty than I am.
Very, because I'll be having discussions and not just doing the whether it's me like help to, construct them or just be part of the discussion or just, I mean, I love both. I've done them before, especially a lot with Better. And I love digging deep in those conversations and helping to, not just make people hear what I have to say or what anyone says, but really have an honest, good exchange of, why people find themselves in like those spaces, why people do and go to conferences like this to not only meet and be around like-minded people, which is the added benefit because we rarely have that.
Yep.
But it's also to feel like, you're not alone. You can speak openly, you can share, learn, build, create, all that good stuff. And isn't that the whole point of true, genuine community? I've said too much.
No. Hold on. First of all, what's up, Adrian? Yeah,
Adrian!
I'll go back to the wedding shit here in a minute because I don't want to lose track because my ADHD brain will lose track of what Jen just said. But I guess it's two now. Jenny, you've been part of two of the conversations that I've had. Did anybody run away from questions?
No.
Was there any hostility? Was there any kind of the like, how dare you ask that type shit, like vibe or feeling? Did you ever get that?
No.
And the reason I say that is because like even there,
like number 7,
and when we're
someone's paying attention in class.
Damn, hell yeah,
Jesus,
learned in something. So you know, fuck it. I'll share the story I shared in our conversation today because because the other thing Jay has loved he's loved to do so far with me is part of him I don't know if it's in his brain whatever, but making me also part of the problem because you know I was the creator of whatever you want to call it of better but I was not alone, so I originated the idea and that's about it. Because there's many people that helped, but Jenna busted her ass probably even more than I did, to keep it a buck. But Jay's thing's been like, well, when he was doing the love bombing part, it was cute, right? Because now he thought we were, we're buddies. But then again, it was used against me once we weren't. And him saying the things he said about these atheists, these skeptics, these supposed secular humanists should not be having conferences because, and then whatever idea or whatever that he came up with that day. And even when he said that, in one of his comment sections, I was like, man, this is crazy talk, bro. This is fucking crazy talk, right? Because, and I'm gonna share the story when I say this. There was a gentleman that attended Better here in Fort Wayne. What year was that, babe? 2022?
Oh God, was it 22?
It was 2021 or 2022.
No, it definitely was 22. Yeah, it was.
What up, Maya?
Hi, Maya.
So Maya doesn't have to wait, babe. If you would like to restate the breaking news,
We're taking our blam blams.
We are rolling out on the ops
to NaNoCon. We're gonna be participating.
Say
I got shy.
Say that with your whole chest.
I got shy. I'm sorry. We're participating in NaNoCon. We've had some discussions, and they have led to an obviously. What do you mean obviously? What do you mean? How is that not my first? Maya, first of all, I totally forgot about messaging you like I told myself I would. So. I've been having vacation brain. I go back to work tomorrow.
She's been on vacation.
Yeah,
you've been on vacation.
I've not been focused on anything. I'm being you're fine. I love you. But yeah, that's it.
No, hey, and see, Adrian, I appreciate that. I think that's cool shit. 100. Yeah, we rolling out on the ops. Blam blam. I already went to Amazon, like I said earlier, and ordered my blam blams. So y'all motherfuckers be ready. I'm coming with the super soaker. Now, anyway, so the story I was sharing about Better, the conference we hosted here in Fort Wayne. So Fundy Bundy, he can have any idea why an atheist should or should not hold a conference. Whatever that's your opinion. Like we all know, you're entitled to your own opinion, and just like assholes, everybody's got one, right? Or maybe you are never mind. But ours was Friday through Saturday, but then we had like a send off Sunday morning, before people jumped on their flights and all that type shit. And there was a gentleman that attended that we knew just via side chat on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Never met in real life, never had a phone call with, right? But was very like super consistent in the side chat. And then we met him there, the first night, and made him feel as welcome as possible. He got more and more warmed it, and he's very introverted. And the more he warmed up, and I remember like watching him through the weekend, and the more comfortable he got, and like it was like this, whether you want to call it an evolution or metamorphosis, whatever you want to call it, right? But you could see this like change and this growth happening like real time. And Sunday morning, before we start the last, like, hey, hope everybody had a good time, get home safe type shit, he approached Jen and I. Now at that point he was a closeted atheist, and he comes from a very similar background that I come from, as far as the evangelical, charismatic, like in your face, you're gonna burn in hell, fire, brimstone, like all that shit, gnashing of teeth, all that shit. He was absolutely, and when I say terrified, like, that is not a, I'm not saying that to be dramatic. Like he was genuinely terrified to even ask questions or mention it to his family, just based on how, the high control and all that. And, and at this point he had just went through a divorce with, now his ex, and they both met in church, grew up in church together. Right. So he like all that's like crazy. Right. And he came up Sunday morning and he was like, I have to tell you guys that I was scared to death to come here, because it's all new and I'm introverted and I came here alone and by myself. But being here is the first time that I've felt like I'm not alone. And I listened to, and there was, particular speakers that I don't remember which ones he named now, but they're, because our conference was really focused around, leaving religion, exiting religion, and the harm, that's with that. And he said, this is the first time that I have felt brave enough, confident enough, and secure enough to talk to my family.
Yep.
Because when I heard you guys talk, and the thing is, what I saw on screen, on YouTube, I got in real life.
Man, I remember that.
Yeah. And I remember he was like, my biggest fear is when I got here that what I would experience would be different than what I see on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, the again, the consistency and the being genuine, right? Then when I heard that, now having that experience and heard it in real life, and I remember him saying, it was like, if Jenna can do this, I can do this. If Oz can do this, I can do this. If Dave can do this, if Seth can do this, if then I can do this too. And now I know I have people behind me that not just support me, but they fucking get it. They fucking get it. And he said, I called my parents last night because I knew I had no reason to be terrified. They lived somewhere in Texas, but they're in Texas. I'm in Indiana. And I called them last night, and I can't remember, it was a long time, but he said I had a very long conversation with them, and I let them know that I am no longer a man of faith. I'm no longer going to church. I'm no longer going to just go through the motions in hopes that they approve of me. And that my hope and my wish is that they still love me the way they said they love me before they heard this information. And I was like, the fuck? You know, like, cause that's intense, bro. Like if you would have knew this guy beforehand, that was crazy work, man. You know, so why am I sharing that story? Because even if you hold an event like this, even if you can help one person like that, give them the tools, you know, or whatever to find a healthy way, healthy times, a healthy process, whatever, in making that that separation from the faith. I'm not saying separate from family. Sometimes you have to do it because they're still end up being toxic, but giving them the tools and the confidence that you're not the only one going through this. That's worth an entire conference to me.
Yep.
Like real
Absolutely.
talk. Real talk. That's worth a whole conference to me.
That's exciting. Man, it felt so good, that situation, and hearing others that were, from here that, this being the city of churches, had no inkling or idea that this was, a thing or something that could attend or be a part of. That was rewarding.
Absolutely.
Hearing those stories and talking to so many different people, and even with people that maybe recognized me and I had no idea. is I'm happy that I got to be a part of that.
Hell yeah.
I'll always fucking remember that.
And now I will, and I said this to Patrick today, and I've said it in the past. I am looking forward to being there DJing, and however I can help. And anybody that knows me, like that's how I approach any event like this. Anyway, if I'm there, you need something from me, regardless of who's hosting, putting on, whatever. I like. If I'm there, I'll help. Right? Just holler at your boy. That's exactly what I told him. Yeah, so I'm grateful for that. You know, that part. Now, jokingly, what I'm most grateful for is I don't have to coordinate it. Hey, that's a bitch, man. Coordinate them motherfuckers. Oh my God. Nah, no, because I did not, and not only there, but even my former professional career in sales. We in the 10 years that I was with the last company I worked for. Oh God, we had so many conferences and meetings and blah blah blah, that are similar to this. That yeah, I do not miss coordinating and hosting that shit. It is hard fucking work, man. Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. It's yeah. Adrian, I don't. This channel started as a. It started. The original name was the Atheist Roundtable, and we started having conversations with believers, right? And from a very SE approach, and I used to be my brother still pastors a like a 700-800, well, I think it's bigger than that now, but last I knew anyway, he pastors like a 700-800 member church here in the city that I live in.
Now I see your like name and image, because it now just occurred to me that your image or logo, Adrian, says Bible and beats.
See, and I'll say the same thing that you said. That does not change my opinion at all.
No, definitely doesn't. But I'm like, why is this a surprise? I thought we're all the same here. And sometimes I I make that genuine assumption just because I'm an atheist. This used to be an atheist channel with heavy conversation and all that stuff. But, you know, hey, if you're cool, I don't care. Bible and beats. All right.
So here, Adrian.
Well,
See,
hi.
now that I have that understanding, and we've broke our news and our announcement, and like I said, now I can't wait to hear the the commotion. But on to other items. Your boy used to be in a Christian hip hop group, and we opened up. Man, I can't remember them all now, but we opened up for members of Cross Movement, Lecrae, Trip. Let's see who else. John Rubin. I'm missing one. I see his face. What was his name? Damn it. Did I say truth? The truth?
Yes.
Okay. Oh damn. I'm forgetting the other guy's name now. Damn it. I already said Trip. Man, I see his face now. I can't remember that. But anyway, yeah, we traveled, opened up with those guys. Truth was my favorite like solo artist, and then Cross Movement was my favorite group, and they were the so Brady Goodwood Jr., that's also now an atheist, and one of the pioneers of Cross Movement. It's a crazy full circle, because like he was someone that I looked to as like a hero / motivation, whatever, in that group, because I spent years away from church due to addiction and everything, and then went back, and then it's a long story. Anyway, when I went back into church, I was still to this day I am, but was a huge Wu-Tang fan. And my little brother was like, well, here, I think I got somebody you're going to really like. And I remember sitting in his car and looking at him, because this is back when Christian hip hop was fucking trash. Like it sounded like motherfuckers had Fisher Price drum machines, and they got out some fucking the Fisher Price microphone and made their beats and recorded on that shit, right? And he played Cross Movements, what's it called? Human Emergency. And he played it, and the first beat that dropped had that East Coast and I was like, hold up. Hold up. And I want to say it was the second artist. So it was Fanatic was the first one I heard, and then Brady, which went by Fanatic at the time, started spitting. I was like, hold on. There's some Christians that can spit.
Well,
hold up. And so I was like, damn, these motherfuckers actually got bars on here. All right, let me peep game. And I through that process, before I went through the actual, not just walking away because I wanted to do drugs and get high and all that shit, but the actual like questioning, deconstruction, deconversion. It was Brady and Cross Movement, the members, that I probably learned more from their music than I did in church. But I digress. Yeah, the exegesis, eisegesis, all that. the first time I ever heard that, and I grew up at church, until I hit, 13 or whatever. I was like, man, what the fuck is this? When they're saying exegesis and eisegesis, I was like, I thought there was only one Jesus. Oh, but we're not even talking about the man. Got it. But, and I just saw the viewership count go way up. So I'll re-announce the announcement because I know the backlash is upon us.
Oh boy.
We're rolling out on the ops.
Blam, blam!
The always beautiful Jenna and the always, I guess, causing problems. Oz.
Handsome.
We are rolling out on the ops. We will be in Tennessee for NaNoCon 2026 to 100% participate.
100.
What? What?
1, 2, it goes 1, 2,
Love
3,
it.
get fucked up, 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 get fucked up.
Well, anything else you got? Because I guess I gotta.
Yep, I was getting ready to wrap it up. So
I gotta be an adult tomorrow or today. Oh God, I don't think I'm sleeping tonight. That's fine.
oh boy.
Yay! And thank you.
What are you thinking me
No,
for?
I was talking to the chat.
Oh, well, you just got done talking to me and then said thank you.
I should have. Yeah, I should have said thank you, Adrian. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Looking forward to a shorter swimmer. How short are you? That's a weird question to ask. I'm sorry, but I look forward to meeting you too, AJ. I don't even know why I randomly asked this. I'm just,
Nope, you're good. My little brother. We'll sign off with this because my little brother he didn't hit his first growth spurt until he
that is short.
Yeah, that's short.
That's short.
Yeah, my little brother, which now he's maybe 2 inches shorter than me. But he didn't hit his first growth spurt until, and I'm not even playing. He made 16, but I think he was more like closing in on 17 before he hit. What up, Wayne? What up, Wayne? I don't think he. I think he was close to 17. Anyway, like a little dude, right? Little dude in high school looked like he still should have been like middle school. And he always got picked on, right? And being big brother, I'm always out there. I got his back. And I remember fucking around with him one time, and we were talking. He was like, "Just I'm sick of people calling me short." I said, "Nah, tell them you're abbreviated."
Abbreviated. Wow. I don't think I ever heard you say that.
I
Abbreviated.
I remember him and I dying laughing because it just hit me out of nowhere. Like it's like I hadn't even thought that shit
hilarious.
out, right? But I was like, "No, tell him fuck you. You ain't short.
That's fucking hilarious.
You ain't short. You're abbreviated. The rest is yet to come."
Oh God. That is hilarious.
Oh man.
Good shit.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all hanging out, and yeah, we just wanted to let everybody know, because it's part of the process. And like I said, from the jump with all this, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have all the conversations I need to fucking have, right? And do that, and yeah, I am 100%. I 100% feel safe. I 100% feel like we are safe. I am safe being there. And so we're going to do the damn thing, and we're going to roll out on these motherfucking ops.
Yeah. This is for all you non-philosophizing black sheep, unwelcome, pushed to the side motherfuckers like me.
Fuck what they say. Gang gang, atheist your way. Yeah. Fuck what they say. Gang gang, atheist your way. Ha ha ha. Let's get down to business. These bitches got glitches. And you thought you'd dismiss us? Nah. Now I'm laughing in stitches. See, the problem be, it'll be a tragic travesty to come after me. So just know this is how we get down. Respect that shit like a pronoun, bitch. Yeah, fuck what they say. Tang gang, atheist your way. Yeah, and fuck what they say. Tang gang, atheist your way. Yeah, fuck what they say. Tang gang, atheist your way. Yeah, fuck what they say. Tang gang, atheist your way.